No, you're actually gonna post. Okay. Now I should be able to watch it properly. There we go.
So let's see. Okay. Apparently, the approximate amount of time to 100% is from 30 minutes to 3 hours.
Shit.
Apparently, the minimum number of playthroughs is 3+.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on June 6th, but it's a really late flight because that was the cheapest, so it gets in at midnight. But don't worry, I'll get a shuttle from the airport, so you don't have to pick me up. Like, really seriously, you don't have to. Okay, so, love you. See you soon. Bye.
Oh, get ready to shit. Did you put all lights on?
No.
Why is one of the lights on to your left then?
That one's already on.
That's fucking weird.
I'm gonna take this duck.
Oh, this is weird. Oh, fuck. Do you know what's gonna make us happy? Some fucking funny videos. Some fucking nice music. Some hype music for this hype moment of happiness.
Oh,
watch out
God.
for the guy that might end up raping you from some fucking angle. Watch out, watch out, watch out! It's not gonna have nowhere! Oh, that's fucking weird. Oh, nah.
Dear Katie, so much has changed, even just since you've been away. We moved into this house. I'm in a new school. And my big sister being gone for a year doesn't make it any easier. It doesn't feel real. But I'm not gonna let it faze me. I used to tell you everything, and if I can't do it in person, because you're off gallivanting around who knows where, I'll tell it to this journal. Just like I was talking to you.
Oh shit!
Don't look in the guy's pants, it is to your right.
Fuck that, you're a whore.
Now watch out, there's a guy to your left and behind you and up there.
You know you're a dick, right?
No, you know turning on a faucet is fucking weird because you can just hear water and not footsteps from the guy that's near you. I think you cut the cord so you can't call anyone.
Sam.
Funny.
Oh, dude, Mom Daniel is total weirdo. Oh no, he's right behind you.
Sam.
I know you're a dick, right?
Oh, this is weird, though. Don't fucking yell Sam, cunt. You're fucked.
What?
You can't was oh, dude, I literally had a footstep, not even kidding.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, dude, this, no, honestly, not trying to fucking psych you out, I literally heard a footstep on top of you.
You know what? All you do is break the thing to me.
To say, oh, Sam,
Yep.
team, you know,
I'm scared to turn around now.
There's so much. You need so much
Oh,
handwriting.
dude, it's not what's behind you, it's what's to your left or
especially
right.
for, like, one-off
Oh my
characters
god.
that
You know what? Fuck this.
Your
I'm
Uncle
out.
Harvey died. No, don't do it. Get the achievement, fuck
handwriting
it.
more than once, and we knew we needed a birthday card from
No, dude,
some
don't
member
do
of
it. Did you
Sam's
really
more
go on
extended
a...
family that
Oh,
you're
dude,
never gonna hear
crouch?
from again. And so
Like,
I'd
dude,
like to
check
pay
your
to be
map
her
and check
uncle.
items.
What?
Dude, you can check items and stuff.
And as an Easter egg, kind of like wink and nod thing, like, we're
Oh
fans
gosh, you
of,
fucked.
you know, the Looking
Okay,
Glass
picked
legacy
up.
of games,
Jeez.
and Deus Ex and Dishonored, and so I got in contact with Harvey Smith, who is the lead designer of Deus Ex and
Look
the
at that
co-creative
fucking
lead of
license.
Dishonored, and asked if he would just write on a piece of paper,
Oh, she's
"Happy
21
birthday,
or
Sam," from
something.
Uncle Harvey,
She's
and
supposed to be.
he just took a picture with his cell phone and
Yeah, like 5 minutes after you asked him, it was amazing. He was just like, "Yes, I will do this immediately."
Yeah,
It was the best.
I think he took a picture with his cell phone and,
Look at his
and
map.
it was really cool. Harvey's a great guy, and I love his games, and we're
Wow, there's
super
one single low
honored
stairs
to
going up.
have
Oh my
his
god.
signature in the hub of the Greenbrier House.
Hell yeah.
The Goodfellow High School jacket and the logo generally is a reference to the logo for Minerva's Den.
This game is not my game. If you made me play this, I would honestly not
the
even.
section of Rapture that
Why is that?
that DLC takes place in that we worked on together.
I just don't like horror games, eh? Oh,
but,
dude. Put every fucking light
we
on now,
didn't
con.
want to make it look exactly like the owl logo from.
Wait, close the
that
door and
game.
turn out the
We wanted
light
to
and see how
be,
creepy
you
it
know,
looks,
an homage or
honestly.
a reference or whatever.
Yeah, so we decided that
You
since
are
this
not
is a
helping.
Pacific Northwest.
I just
school
wonder what it'd be like. I'm
setting,
sorry.
That we would go for
What's
some,
around the corner?
native,
Oh.
style representation.
You are not helping my anxiety,
Let's
asshole.
see.
Well,
I
actually,
have anxiety
we were
too, and I'm not
struggling
even
with it for a while
playing.
because we wanted. At first, I was saying,
Oh my
just
god,
make
it's
it look
fucking.
like a very 90s looking school mascot logo illustration that's just cheap that maybe one of the students did or something, and the direction wasn't good enough, and we didn't really have a good enough example to work from. And then Kate actually
Apparently-
came to visit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Apparently,
And she suggested, "Oh, what if it's like
this
a
woman's
Pacific Northwest
sister,
Native American style
Samantha is a lesbian.
approach?" And
but
that
apparently
really
was
just
denial.
clicked and made total sense.
Fucking. They thought. They pretty much forbade her from seeing her. From closing her door while she
That's
was
a
over.
weird mask, by the way.
Or mask. I don't want to look.
On the bookcase next to the trophy you picked up. The green one.
Grab skull.
Grab skull. Oh, fuck off, God. I am.
Don't sing that.
Hello, my name is Kate Craig, and I was creating a lot of the environment assets for the game. Not all of them, some of them I had help with, which I'll touch on a little later, but most of the stuff like the walls and the floors, some of the larger pieces of furniture were my doing, and I'm going to be talking about some of the environmental storytelling aspects in Gone.
Hi, I'm Chris Remo, the composer on Gone Home. In my commentary tracks, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what went into creating the original music soundtrack for the game. Gone Home is an unusual game, musically speaking, in that it consists of two distinct music soundtracks.
Fuck that, eh?
But one of
You're
those
talking
probably
back
more
like
frequently
nigga nope.
Oh man,
I
mom
picked it up
handwriting.
and like, nope.
We went through a lot
Back
of different
away
moms for
slowly.
handwriting. A lot
Okay.
of different moms contributed handwriting for a game.
Now comes
at
the hot
first,
part.
Let's see, how did we do? What were we doing first? I think I just did it, and it wasn't great. And
I'm scared.
then we had Emily do it.
I don't want to go up there.
But her handwriting was used so heavily in other parts of the game that we had to find someone else. And I think we actually had Yaman try to do it for a while before he used Dad's handwriting.
Oh fuck!
No, we got Yaman's mom.
What is wrong with you?
She was ideal for it. Really
No,
good.
don't do it!
Yeah.
Oh fuck off!
No, don't do it!
You're not helping.
No, don't do it! No, no, no. No, don't do it!
You're not helping. Please, I am begging you. Put it away. Put it off.
I'm a virgin.
Oh my god.
It scared
We
me
never
when you
really
go for that
discussed the
door. I'm like,
idea
no,
of
don't do
individually
it.
scoring each audio log ahead of time. I just got an email one day from Steve after they had done the first round of voice recording with Sarah Grayson,
Oh
who did an
god,
amazing job as
that
Sam.
makes it
And
worse.
he said he'd been thinking about the idea of giving each log a piece of music to ground it in the proper tone. So I just started doing these short 20 to 60 second pieces, and that ended up being the bulk of the work for the game. It was a very iterative process. I did them in the order they were recorded, and I would just keep sending revisions of each log to Steve, taking his...
It's weird hanging out with girls. Daniel was around ever since I was little, and other girls? I don't know. But being around Lonnie is like
right now.
instantly just right. I gave her the grand psycho house.
I had seen Bikini Kill and Bratmobile play their first show at the North Shore Surf Club in Olympia. That was Valentine's Day, 1991. And I was kind of blown away by the incredible rawness and the honesty that they wrote with, and the kind of flippancy that they had. I thought was really interesting. But you know, to have the opportunity to talk about all of these issues that are really important to young women, I thought was really special. And I thought that what they were doing was taking the kind of intense feminist ideas that had become popular in the 70s with, you know, SDSS, and now, I mean, those really, you know, incredible ideas and the ideology of feminism, but they were putting it into a language for today. For the 90s, I guess. I mean, that was 20 years ago, but it was for young people, and it
there
was
are so many ways I want to
relate
kill you right now.
to topics about sexuality, about sex, about sexual abuse, about sexism and harassment, and all these things that are really
no, I honestly, you have bigger balls than
sexual beings.
I tell you right now,
really
as soon as I finish this game, I'm probably gonna have a heart attack.
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh god. Okay.
I can smell you angry, that's all I do.
Must you?
What danger?
Oh god, that's not creepy at all. See this brochure? That brochure's not fucking creepy at all.
Whoa, 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 that's right.
Must you? Fuck.
No, I'm sorry, I'm shitting myself. Ooh.
Did you see the brochure?
Oh, yeah, and I don't want to see that shit no more.
Look at you can just look away from the TV.
So can you.
Yeah, but I want to get it done then. Just take longer. You're a fucking whore, you are.
entirely to this one piece of paper.
Did you hear that above you?
Almost everything on here is an Idle Thumbs reference, and specifically to a weird exchange that we had about Will Wright's GDC talk in like 2008.
I'd appreciate
where he didn't want everybody to show up and crowd the place. So
is there anything you want me to play so you won't be scared?
And then did a talk about a bunch of crazy stuff, including the idea of rocket mail, which was going to be like done by it was pitched by the U.S. Postal Service in the 50s and stuff. So
I'm gonna search for a nigga compilation.
The thing on the podcast was about how Phaedrus had a little brother, and so anyway, whatever. The brother, of course, it's a Phaedrus, and you can't hardly see the icon in the back because it's obscured. But there's this 50s rocket icon in the back that's like the logo of.
Are you watching some guys? That's just a game.
And then also it's the reference that Will Wright was making, and that is a secondary reference here because the motorcycle thing is that.
Beat him up, beat him up, beat him up, beat him up. Oh, it's a single piece of paper that says nigger faggot. Dear gay retard / nigger faggot. What's up, nigga? You doing good? Nigger? Hey, everyone type Alex the stupid nigger in chat. Even though I have 1,000 videos on the internet of me saying nigger. We are very fucking stupid to hold the word nigger at this colossally high standard that you can critique people's use of the word nigger. I replaced Sage Heat and saying nigger.
That she left behind.
Dude, I bet that's a real move for Mortal Kombat.
Put real games in.
Now do you feel better?
So these are
stereoscopic?
Stereograph. Yeah, these are stereograms.
I mean, the music kind of helps too, right?
Yeah. Stereograms, popularized by the Magic Eye brand of images from, the 80s and 90s. These really... Mom and Dad are much more actively religious. You know, there's a Bible in the foyer, and there's a Bible in Dad's bedside table.
Or arguably they want to appear actively religious. But yes.
Yeah, I think that, my intent was that they aren't.
One of the assets that I really liked creating in the game with these board games, there's 3 in total in the house. Ideally there'd be more, but we'd focus on getting the walls built and things like that. But I really like them. They're just a simple extruded cube. There's something about environment design that's really fun.
Barf Burger is enjoyed by all. So the thing is, I drew the Barf Burger because I drew all of Lonnie's drawings. So I drew the 2 cats on the motorcycle and the Captain Allegra drawings and stuff like that. And that was really. I think that it goes hand in hand with
I've always, one of the most comforting things in the world to me is having somebody like brush my hair or stroke my head. My mom, when I wasn't feeling well, after I down in her lap, she would just brush my hair. And it always made me feel better. Like the weirdest.
The boxes of tampons that you can find in the washrooms around the house, they weren't originally on the list of items that needed to be modeled, but when you're creating a bathroom at that level of fidelity, you're creating a bathroom for a teenage girl, no less, the idea of not having something like that is kind of jarring. It was kind of jarring. Especially because
a lot of Gone Home is about pointless interactivity that is sort of things being interactive for the sake of them being interactive, but it really comes from our inspirations of immersive sims like System Shock and Bioshock and Thief, where a big part of the design philosophy behind those games and Gone Home is that the world needs to be really internally consistent. And there's this feeling that if there's something that your character might do, you should be able to do it in the game. So in Bioshock, for instance, you can flush all the toilets and you can turn on all the faucets, and that's also true in like Deus Ex and Dishonored. And sometimes like the water fountains in Deus Ex give you like 1 health or whatever, but really you can interact with them because there's this expectation of if you could interact with that, if you encountered it in this world, we should let you do that, right? So all of the faucets in our game can be turned on, and they can be turned on so that you can turn them on and you can flush all the toilets, and it extends into our philosophy behind you can pick up every plastic cup
How many
and
niggers are in my store?
not
No,
because
you're stealing.
it's going to add a whole lot to your understanding of this world to be able to look at the other side of the cup, but to the life cycle of the condom.
How many niggers are in my store?
The Life Cycle of the Condom
Alright,
by Parla Zamanja.
is as
How
follows.
many niggers are in my
Initially, the condom was a separate plot point. It was an actual plot point. We gave it to Lonnie, and we had Sam find it in Lonnie's purse, and it made Sam worried about what the hell she was doing with it, etc. And that was sort of a wedge to drive her apart when that was the storyline, which it no longer is. And because we decided we hated it. But
one of my favorite things that came out during development was someone wrote an email mistakenly referring to Mittens, and Steve replied in the voice of Katie, saying, "Just Mitten. She's only one cat, Mom."
Do you think if Palpatine's like out of the streets and he gets approached by some fucking mugger and they're like, I'm gonna steal your money. He's like, don't do it. It'd be that like Shabbat.
Dude, watch out, fucking lights keep flickering, it's fucking creeping me out, dude. There's like shit everywhere.
You had the fast, here's how you get the glad, you get the first. Let's use the first.
What's he talking about?
I don't know, but I keep flickering and I swear I keep seeing things on the fucking screen.
No, but it's getting crap out of everyone. Mostly me. Fucking.
I know, it's just fucking weird. I'm just saying shit, honestly. I think I'm just fucking tired, but I'm honestly saying
this
shit.
guy in my ears fucking screwing with me. Fucking playing creepy ass music. It's drilling like a little bitch.
Hey, what's up?
So there's a lot less density in the house than there would be in a real house. Like, if you look around your house, there's just junk piled everywhere, probably. Like,
it's just our house.
I think it's most houses. But, so, you know, our strategy was you either fully invest in something and, you know, put, like,
that doesn't
a plausible representation of this aspect of a room in, or you just don't put it in at all. And the player will fill in the gaps between, like, oh, these are all things that represent the kind of room I'm supposed to be in, and it doesn't jump out at me that there's no toilet plungers in the bathroom or whatever. Almost none of the events, the little events in the game, are scripted.
Yeah.
As far as like triggering when you do something specific. So all of the thunder and lightning and the creaky noises in the house, they're all just randomized on timers. The only like scripted thing is in the secret passageway. When you look at the crucifix, there's scripting that detects that you did that, and then it causes the light to pop.
There is nothing like
my one indulgence of like messing with the player. But we've had a lot of people play the game and say, you know, oh, the way you scripted it, so that right when I walked into the TV room, there was that big thunder and lightning strike. Like that was really spooky, or you know, I walked through that one door, and then you played that sound behind me, and.
I really enjoyed playing Gone Home.
You went into the room, you're like,
I have to say it was pretty exciting to find the Heavens to Betsy tape, you know, because that was really, I mean, those songs really did come out on a cassette tape at the time, and that really was how people discovered the music was...
What's this about a password?
Sometimes you just have to lie to Mom and Dad. Like when Lonnie asked me to see a band with her and stay over at her friend's place in the city after. That's a lie to Mom and Dad's situation. But it was so worth it. The girls on stage were just so loud and real and awesome. And everybody was moving together like one huge tide of sound. Between two songs, Lonnie leaned over and said, "How do you like your first show?" I was so happy. I felt tears starting in my eyes. And then she up and hugged me.
And throw it like Captain America
I think she could tell.
Apparently. Yeah. You get some of the shield and throw it in the customer. Yes. Holy shit. I can see that. That's better. I can see shit. But like I was saying, it's not one of those kind of movies, it's just really weird. Oh, it's not a horror game. You just pretty much look around the house searching for shit. I'm guessing this is how you get to the attic though.
Yeah, if it's not a horror game, what is that fucking thing over there?
Oh. I was expecting to go. Okay.
Andrew, don't go on it! Andrew,
Zach, you're an asshole.
Andrew, do not look behind yourself.
You can't even see behind me, so stop being a douche.
Andrew, don't look behind.
Oh. Oh my god, shut up.
Don't go in the bathroom, Andrew! I'm waiting there for you. All of them.
I hate you all. Fucking try.
Hey Andrew, can you see me? I'm right in front of you.
Fuck off that.
Andrew, it's locked and it's not gonna fucking open.
Please stop.
Wait, what does it say? Wait, what does it say?
What?
The fucking paper.
What paper?
On the wall, under the fucking attic.
I'm staring at it to stress it. Just says don't enter while the red lights are on.
Stands dark room, do not enter. Fucking hell, that's weird.
Well, you got to make use of an attic somehow.
If red lights are on, dude, watch out. They might be coming up there on us, or might be right behind you waiting for you when you go up there when you find a key or some shit.
You probably got to turn the red lights off.
Somehow. If somehow you turn some red lights and the doors open, I'm fucking done, honestly. There's got to be a cunt in the house.
What?
If you see a cunt, just smack him with a cone. Maybe there's a dildo in your parents' bedroom. So guess what this is? Oh.
When you figure
That
out
wasn't from me, that was from the guy right behind you.
Funny. When you figure out how to open the attic.
Do you want me to search it?
In the house.
Wait, 13 reasons why. Side B and side A.
There's a basement as well, apparently. Try to find it.
Oh, maybe that's how you do the things, and...
Nah. It's a Holy Bible. Go and try to find
the
the
attic.
attic.
The beds are looking weird as, man. What's under the bed is what I'm wondering.
Go back to the fucking main hall and try and find the basement.
Bro, use the Holy Bible, smack a dog with it. Honestly, Andrew, keep that Holy Bible with you, man. You can be like, with the power invested in me, get fucked.
Go back down to the main hallway. It's in the second room.
Bro, hook up a Nintendo 64 dog. Oh, that's creepy.
I've
Hell no.
looked through all day. You can't fucking get anything. Yes.
I'm right back there to go take a whiz.
Johnny, go back through that door. No, the other one. No, behind you. I was pointing towards. It is fucking up. No, I said the main room. Okay.
A lot of Gone Home is about pointless interactivity that is sort of things being interactive for the sake of them being interactive, but it really comes from our inspirations of immersive sims like System Shock and Bioshock and Thief, where a big part of the design philosophy behind those games and Gone Home is that the world needs to be really internally consistent. And there's this feeling that if there's something that your character might do, you should be able to do it in the game. So in BioShock, for instance, you can flush all the toilets and you can turn on all of the faucets, and that's also true in like Deus Ex and Dishonored. Like, and sometimes, you know, like the water fountains in Deus Ex give you like 1 health or whatever, but really you can interact with them because there's this expectation of, if you could interact with that, if you encountered it in this world, we should let you do that, right? So, you know, all of the faucets in our game can be turned on, and they can be turned on so that you can turn them on, and you can flush all the toilets, and it extends into our philosophy behind you can pick up every plastic cup and toothbrush and Kleenex box, not because it's going to add a whole lot to your understanding of this world to be able to look at the underside of a cup, but to pay off that expectation and say to the player, yeah, you could pick that up and look at it, so we're...
Hi, I'm Chris Remo, the composer on Gone Home. In my commentary tracks, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what went into creating the original music soundtrack for the game. Gone Home is an unusual game, musically speaking, in that it consists of 2 distinct music soundtracks. The one of those probably more frequently commented on is the collection of licensed Riot Girl songs the player finds in Sam's cassette tapes strewn around the house. The other one is the original music that accompanies the player's undirected exploration of the house and underscores almost every one of Sam's audio diary recordings. When Steve first asked me to do music for Gone Home, I was really excited about it, but there are almost no parameters for what that meant in terms of format or scope. Having played an early build of the game, I started by just doing a few musical sketches with no real regard for length or usage, mainly consisting of vintage electric piano sounds like Wurlitzers and Fender Rhodes. I chose those instruments because I wanted sounds that would feel at home in the era of the game. The Twin Peaks soundtrack used a lot of Rhodes, for example, but would also blend into the background and not share much tone in common with the abrasive Riot Girl guitars. Some of the instrumentation and ideas changed from those first sketches, but they also contained one of the main themes that ended up accompanying Sam's arc throughout the final game.
Did I make you say my shit? You can't say you didn't send my shit. Even I shit just done listening to myself.
No.
You can be seen better.
Oh, it's still not done. This game's not as scary to you, at least now. Thanks to me.
The key to the basement is
See,
inside
I help with everything. Oh, that's fucked.
Yeah, but
the key to the basement would happen to be in the basement along with the basement cellar, along with the bloody attic that's also in the basement apparently.
the
Oh,
combination.
that lightning just made me shit a bit.
The combination is found in 2 secret panels in the house. The first half of the combination is found on a secret panel directly across from Sam's room. The second half is found in a panel in the downstairs hallway, across from the closet containing Sam's list of things to buy from the first day of school.
Is that it?
That's the combination there.
Do you know which factory?
Yeah, that's the room you went through. No, what's in the rest of this hallway though?
Look out for a book that might be like Scooby-Dooby-Doo shit.
Makes you click all the things you can, like all the light bulb thing. You gotta get close to click things anyway.
That game's already made me shit so much.
Makes you click all the light bulbs that are hovering in the air.
Hey, telling yourself to do
Here
this.
we have Fresh Magazine.
So I need them for the
Here
directory.
we have Fresh Magazine, which
That's the whole
is
point of having a directory
a
commentary
synthesis and pastiche of...
You find the first combination code in the game. This code goes to Dad's locked filing cabinet, and it's 0451, which is a bit of a tradition / in-joke amongst I mean, it's not really an in-joke. It's just an internal reference amongst this lineage of games that hark back to immersive sims that are kind of first-person exploration games that started with Ultima Underworld and System Shock, and 451 was the first key code.
Fuck it, since you played a horror game later, I'm gonna play a horror game.
Also the first key code in System Shock 2 and Deus Ex and BioShock.
So here's one of Dad's
you're a
pulpy,
gentleman magazine,
books.
shit, yeah.
He's now moved on from primary sources to
You said I've got to find a horror game that I own.
However, this one purports to contain the truth. Yeah, the publishing company is a doofy.
When you're putting like
so these are all the VHS tapes, or most of them, in the house, and these in the TV room are from they only belong to Dad and Sam, because Mom has some VHS tapes, but they're up in the bedroom. And you can tell Dad's because he writes in a big, heavy, all caps style handwriting, and Sam does not. So, contrary to popular opinion, the X-Files tapes are not Dad's; they're in fact Sam's.
But stuff like JFK has an obvious dad interest, and some of the other stuff that we put in there was very much like, what is a dad movie?
Yeah.
You know, what is when we were growing up, for instance, like, what is a movie that our dad or a neighbor's dad would have? So stuff like The Andromeda Strain or Moonraker, it's just sort of like, yeah, dads love
that shit.
Yeah, dads that were born in the 50s
play some Fortnite for a little bit.
into that kind of stuff. And then some of it was, you know, stuff that we liked or remembered from when we were growing up. Like, you will know that Carla was involved in making this game because Beetlejuice and RoboCop are on a VHS tape.
Not anymore.
That's most of what you need to know about Carla.
That's true.
Right there.
Northwest Weather Service reports high winds and torrential rain conditions affecting the following counties: Austin County, Boone County, Dawn County, Tacoma County, and Wistaria County. Residents are strongly urged to stay indoors and secure all windows and doors. Flood conditions are expected at lower elevations.
Understood. Are you done looking through the hallway?
No. What are you saying, Andrew?
Nothing else. Talking to dickhead. Like that.
Okay. What's it like having your own pet dickhead?
Funny. Are you done in the hallway?
Most of the bookshelves in
Oh,
the
if you
house
go into a door and see a cat
filled with undifferentiated books. I mean, they're not undifferentiated, but they're low detail because
there's only supposed to be like 8 in the house. I think I've got most of them.
this is our old-timey record that we got from archive.org, Source of All Good Things. It's by Adrian Rollini when he was with, apparently, the Taproom Gang. The song is entitled Got a Need for You, in case you can't read it, but you should be able to read it. And the duck I found on the internet. Adrian Rollini was, I got into him when I was on BioShock 2 and helping source the soundtrack for that. And I did a lot of listening to 40s big band stuff, and Adrian Rollini was one of the ones that I really liked, and so it was cool to be able to revisit that.
Honey, you're going the wrong way. Read the note. I don't know.
So you know what they say about the best laid plans of mice and men? Yeah, turns out it applies to Street Fighter too.
fucking Mortal Kombat.
At least I worked
something.
up the courage to walk into the 7-Eleven and ask for a turn, but all that practice at home did not exactly translate in the wild. So after I was finished getting my butt...
I feel like one of the best bits of advice was actually
Yeah, no, but you seem like not even
Fulbright
scared about
team
that game
before going in
anymore.
to do the first recording. And it was a
That's
suggestion that I
just the
should
start of my
watch
short
some
games
episodes
anyway.
of My So-Called
It's
Life,
taken game.
which
You gotta find
was
a
great
guy
because
in
I'd
here
watched them all when
with
they were
that-
actually
that.
on. It was one of those favorite shows.
Wait,
My
what's
sister
up?
and I would sit down and
What'd you
watch
say?
every week. And so going back and watching them
I
was
said, you're not
definitely
scared
a
anymore,
hard
but I guess it is
chore
the
to
first
have
part
to
to
do.
get it, you should scare
So I
yourself.
basically went through all of the episodes I could find online in a couple of days. So it was a
This
bit
is
of a
by far the
7
shortest game you'll ever play.
Hi, this
You know
is
why?
Corinne Tucker from
One of
Heavens
the
to
trophies,
Betsy.
you gotta finish the game in under a
And
minute.
Heavens to Betsy was a band
Oh, shit, you have
that
to finish the game
formed
doing
in
that.
1991, actually.
That's fucked.
And I actually got the idea.
Oh my god. You are so lucky you
Apparently
finished
there's-
high school before we moved into
Apparently
this
there's
house.
no way to get into
So,
the basement
it's the
without
first day of
the
school,
combination.
and there I am, introducing
Apparently
myself
on
to
the
the
second
class,
floor there's a
and I say that I
secret
just moved
switch.
into the house on Arbor Hill. All of a sudden, every
Second
kid in the
floor,
room
secret.
turns and just stares like I suddenly transformed into a mutant. I just stood there, wishing pretty hard for a rewind button.
Press the
Because
touchpad.
now maybe nobody knows my name, but they all know who I am.
Apparently the combination...
The Psycho House
Stop!
girl.
Apparently the combination is marked on
Great.
the map. No, it's supposed to be. No. Go to the second floor.
Where are you?
In the guest room closet.
Really? I need to talk to you. Please be there.
Guest room closet.
Hi, Mom. So I got my ticket home from Europe. I get back on Tuesday, but it's a late flight.
There is no boys room. Yeah. If you see his pack one, don't turn it off. Yeah, let's see that. I've got to turn all 8 on at the same time. But the guest room's up there. Go back to the map. No, you want to go somewhere. No, it's there somewhere. You gotta get past the attic. Yeah, it's become. The guest room's there. I don't know. Guest room closet. This is the guest room. Closet's there then. And yeah, there's a button on the ceiling that opens the secret door. It's supposed to be. Oh, right there. It's the button. Oh fuck! Don't do that! The door has a path down into the basement as well as behind the other locked door on floor 1. That old house. Yeah. It should be, the secret door on floor 1 should be under the stairs. It's supposed to be under the stairs. The other side, right? I don't understand what's going on. Maybe it's at the top of the stairs and it's gotta, like, open it. I mean, that wouldn't be the first one I've seen something like that happen. Don't even think so. Well, yeah.
As far as like triggering when you do something specific. So all of the thunder and lightning and the creaky noises in the house,
open the secret bookshelf and the guest
they're
room from the
all
outside.
just.
The music for Gone Home was mainly composed over 2 separate periods, roughly a year apart. A version of Part 1 of the game had to be ready by October 2012 for submission to the 2013 Independent Games Festival, so I did all the Part 1 audio logs primarily that September. The following summer I did another round of logs for the second half of the game, as well as some Part 1 revisions in the ambient exploration tracks. One really nice side effect of the long gap between composition sessions, as
fanzines, I mean, that's one of the things that we started doing right away, was doing these Riot Girl fanzines, and everyone would contribute and write.
Okay. That's a big deal.
So earlier in an earlier version of the story in Gone Home, Sam and Lonnie got caught together, and Lonnie's dad was like an asshole about it and threatened to send Lonnie to live with.
When you put out any sort of...
For a long time, the kitchen was not going to be mid-renovation the way that it is. And it's one of those things that I think that necessity, a production constraint, actually made this part of the house better than it would have been if we could have just done whatever we wanted. Because for a long time we were like, okay, it's just going to be a kitchen.
When you put out any sort of content about your game online, whether it's screenshots or whether it's gameplay or anything along those lines, you're sort of at the mercy of the internet, and you sort of want to see what people are going to respond to, whether it's positive or negative.
So I'm Sarah Argadale. This is my salad dressing, named for my experience with being in Russia and that being what everyone knows me for.
Fuck off, out of here.
I studied Russian in college, and I lived there for about a year, teaching English when I finished school.
Go back to the
it was a cool thing that happened in my life.
So
I am a reader of the Idle Thumbs podcast, and I guess that's how I met everyone at the Fulbright company and inserted myself into their lives. The Gone Home team, the Fulbright team, was nice enough to put a little token in the game for me, and it's pretty cool.
Writing Sam was a unique challenge, just in the sense of, on the one hand, it was very much from my personal experience because it's about being a teenager and my memories.
It's really about the ideals that we were trying to get across in our music. I think that the move to equality for women and for everyone in the U.S.
All of the sliding doors that you see in the game are actually, from a code perspective, drawers. When I made a thing that could slide along a track like that for the...
So that was probably the hardest one.
Lonnie had her going away show with her band tonight. She's so incredible on...
I'd already played through the first full half of Gone Home before I started composing any music, which was really important to understand how the game felt and played and looked. But I didn't get a build of the complete game until I'd already been delivered the Part 2 audio logs, and then ended up not playing any of the second half of the game until it was fully complete and I'd written all the music. This wasn't originally my intention, but it meant I ended up fully immersed in Sam's story, essentially to the exclusion of all the other subplots of the game, which are not accompanied by specific music.
Really early on, I thought it would be, like, something that I thought would be engaging about Gone Home would just be finding notes and scraps in unexpected places and being able... We didn't really give Kate very specific direction for this. She gave us some You want to talk about this fucking jazz mug?
Nobody wants to talk about jazz mug.
Well,
It's
except
the
for
worst.
Carla.
I hate it. It's the worst.
that was such a common theme
Yeah.
when we were like approving assets or making stuff visually for Gone Home. It's just like, oh my god, that's hideous. I fucking hate it. We're putting it in the game.
Yeah,
because like
so
just
much
like
of that.
awful '90s furniture and like
we see it in a secondhand store or like
or you
just
see
on
it
the
in the
internet.
Sears catalog
like,
we
yeah,
bought,
it's
and it's just
true.
like that is
We
so
just
many.
feel like,
We agreed our last night together would be our happiest ever. And we'd forget tomorrow was going to come at all. It worked for a while. We had a good time seeing Oscar off. Then ran up to the attic to look through our photos. To find one for Lonnie to take with her. And looking at them, I realized they were all in the past.
When you open
And there wouldn't be anymore.
When you back
And I didn't know what I was going to do.
For another trophy. It's a very
And I
easy
cried.
one. All you gotta do is
And she
place
held
the dot on its nest.
She said she knew it was hard, but life
This
would
is
move
exactly
on.
how it's scented.
I said I didn't want my life to keep moving without
Sweet
her.
duck inside the cabinet.
That's when she cried too. I was so
She scared
exhausted.
the crap out of me,
I
then.
must have fallen asleep like that. In
So
her
I saw
arms.
it dark, shadowy figure, but it's
In the
just my
morning,
imagination.
I woke
No,
up.
it's
Your
just
mama,
bottom-
nigga.
I was finally
just bottom
alone.
stairs.
Putback is
And I
featured
told you
I'm
I'm in the
happiest
game,
with
bro.
in the game. It actually came about as sort of a little bit of an accident.
Like I said, yes.
Playtesters had told us.
So there's this little scrap of paper that's hidden under this bedside.
Wait, just a
You know,
minute.
there was kind of this intellectual.
Todd's band lost their singer. Todd said he sucked. Lonnie said he got sick of Todd's shit. And he was complaining about needing a new singer. So Lonnie was like, I can sing. And they were all kind of like, you can? And she was like, probably. But she's been rehearsing with them for like a week now. And I finally got to see them play in Todd's basement today. And she's actually really amazing. I feel so proud when she's on stage. It's incredible being in awe of someone you love. So everybody knows it's like a temporary situation till she ships out in June. But till then, I'm gonna be at every single show.
oh man, this thing.
So two things. One, Mom's Canadian.
Yay.
Two,
Oh,
Mom
right,
didn't start out Canadian. The reason that
Most
Mom
greatly
is
gets combination of
Canadian
the state,
is
people find
because Kate Craig and Emily Carroll are Canadian,
Wait a second.
and early on in
Don't
in
pick
the
up any
development of the game.
paper or anything.
I'm so
go back
stupid
to the
sometimes.
safe. I meant with the code to the
One of
safe.
the larger
Yeah,
assets
look
that we
at well.
needed for the basement to really give it
Yeah,
character and
go back to the
personality was
safe.
a
You didn't
furnace.
actually look
And
at get the
when we were initially
because
thinking of the
apparently
furnace,
the code's
Steve
out
had
in the
mentioned
open.
to me
So
the
I'm gonna pick
furnace
up
from
the paper.
Home Alone, which if you're from if you grew up in the 90s like I did, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
This game is annoying.
So I did a lot of research and looked up stuff that could kind of evoke a similar feeling, and we finally
This makes
settled
you
upon
pick up all the light
octopus
bulbs there.
furnaces, which are like they're
So
thematically
fucking done,
and,
cunt, honestly.
time-wise very appropriate. They're these giant hulking monstrosities with all these arms
It
covered in
is
asbestos.
1-9.
Really perfect, so we ended up modeling one of those and put it in the corner, and I
1-9.
think it turned out okay.
6-3. Yeah. And the last, you should get 2 more before you, when you finish the spell, if you get the duck one. Find the key to the attic yet? In the secret passage, in the secret room, apparently. In the guest room, yeah.
Composing the ambient exploration tracks definitely ended up being the weirdest part of creating music for Gone Home. The audio diaries tended to take precedence since they had such clear criteria for completion, so the ambient tracks were the last things I did. I spent so long immersed in the logs, which were very specifically timed, that to suddenly shift gears to creating these slow, standalone 5-minute pieces was surprisingly difficult. I remember giving Steve a first stab at the ambient track for part 2 of the game, and I didn't hear anything back about it. When I eventually asked if he had any feedback, he said something like, "Oh yeah, it's great, I just slowed it down by 50% and it totally works," which cracked me up, because I definitely didn't have that in mind. But that's one of the great things about collaborative work, so I just went with it. I ended up doing a number of further revisions where I'd alter elements of the original version specifically to affect how the 50% slowed version would sound. It was definitely a new experience for me, writing bits of music and trying to imagine how they would sound after it's been considerably distorted. It got weirder though. The ambient track for part 1 ended up being a backwards version of the slowed down part 2 track. And again, there were elements that sounded good at 50% slow forwards, but not at 50% slow backwards. So again, I went back to the original track and started altering elements so they would sound better at half speed in reverse. I don't know if that's a thing ambient composers end up getting used to, but for me it definitely felt like going down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I see that. Didn't any of that. Now she's lesbian and parents didn't approve. The person she loves is a fucking soldier, or who was supposed to be going out, shipping out. She got off a bus somewhere outside of Meter, and then her sister, she wanted to start a new life with her outside of Oregon. The whole point of this game is finding out what happened to her and her parents, because they're all gone.
She got inside an orgy.
Oh god.
They tell you to stick with the group on field trips, Katie. There's a reason for that.
This game.
Lonnie and I snuck off on the side paths at Multnomah Falls and got a little lost. Okay, a lot lost. Like, for hours. Right before the bus left, we found a trail and came running down the path, soaked and covered in mud, shouting for the bus not to leave. The school called home. Mom and Dad said, "You didn't get into trouble like this before you met that Lonnie girl." But I don't think they know about us. The kids at school, though, I'm really afraid that's a whole other story. Stick with the group, Katie. Stick with the group.
Yeah, I get on there. Oh god, that's not a mess at all.
The fact that there are speedruns for our game makes me really happy, and the fact that...
The sunset light in this house is the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I just want to sleep. When I'm in the attic, it almost feels like Lonnie could still be here. She's just downstairs. I'm just waiting to hear her pull down the hatch and come running up. Maybe I'll go up to the attic and wait.
Don't go up when you open it. Open it and just go back outside for a second. Go back downstairs. Oh, that's okay. Oh. Sam. I said lesbian. It's just... She's 18, by the way. Don't know.
Hi, I'm Steve Gaynor. I'm a co-founder of the Fulbright Company. We made Gone Home. I was the writer and... So, Christmas Duck. Christmas Duck is a fan favorite. He's kind of a mascot, I guess, and I think that's partly because it's a weird concept, a Christmas duck, and partly because it's like the first unique thing that you encounter in the game. It's kind of personified as like a little character, but the thing is, Christmas Duck was not planned. When we were starting the project, we didn't have a 3D modeler because Kate came on a couple months after we started, and we needed a bunch of 3D models. And so I was just going through the Unity asset store when I was going through the list and saw this Christmas duck, and I was like, "What is that?"
Well, that's one of the dude.
Okay, well, and I grabbed it, and we used it as like a test object just to set up the system where you can grab stuff and carry it around. And then I ended up saying, "All right, we got this Christmas stuff, I'll hide the key under it." And instead of replacing the free model with a totally different thing, just made a real version of it. You want to talk about a place for Christmas stuff?
This is where Christmas Duck goes.
Oh, it's...
I think this is one where I love the way the music makes it so uplifting. Because it starts out in this very...
Oh my god. Katie, I fell asleep in the attic, in Lonnie and my old spot, and I missed the first 2 calls. I just barely...
It's one of those things where we had always wanted to... Well, A, we had wanted to pay off Sam's darkroom by letting you go in it and see photos that she had taken. And B, this started from a point of me just being like, oh, we'll end the game the same way we ended Minerva's Den. It'll be fun.
Andrew.
So this is the last room in the game, or at least the last room chronologically in the story.
You made it.
You did it! Yeah, this is where you find Sam's journal that you had been hearing diary entries from, and it's revealed, or I guess implied retroactively, that the game has been taking place in a flashback, basically. And
Katie, I'm so sorry that I can't be there to see you in person, that I can't tell you all this myself. But I hope as you read this journal and you think back,
you're finished.
That you'll understand why I
my way out, nigga.
Give me the control.
And that you won't be sad, and you won't hate me, and you'll just know that I am where I need to be. I love you so much, Katie. I'll see you again.
I tricked the whole time you thought you were going home, but no.
Sam.
Doesn't. It's one off.
Hey, I did it. Come on, Rocky, come with me now. Andrew, I'm up to medieval times. I had to break a lock on my fucking rock. It rusted that shit. Now I gotta pick rock.
You don't have to take it, yeah. That's cool. You have Huh? Cool. Sure.